Mistborn was not a heist.
Mistborn is the story of a fantasy heist.
It's basically a heist story.
A fantasy heist.
Now, I say that, and I absolutely love Mistborn. It's one of my all-time favorite books, not just fantasy, but of all time. And I started thinking about this when I was making my music videos for it, Flying Through the Mist and The Rhythm of the Well. But that being said, when I first started reading the book, I was like, okay, this is a heist, this is a thieving crew, they're gonna get the ATM, let's do this. But as I kept reading, it felt more and more like the good rebels fighting the evil empire, much like Star Wars or Hunger Games, Avatar: The Last Airbender, my favorite TV show. And I couldn't figure out why it started feeling like that when at the beginning it did feel like a heist. And I think there are two reasons why. Number one, they were not really established as thieves early on. Now, we were told that they were thieves, but it goes back to show don't tell. And the first time we see Breeze and Ham, for instance, are they stealing something? No. They're sitting at a table, Breeze wants his wine, Ham is philosophizing. And that's the first time we see them. Kelsier, he kind of steals, but it's more like fights the bad guys and happens to steal what they have on them. With Cayman, with a plantation owner, and then later with a nobleman, he breaks in, he's quickly found, and he barely escapes with his life, but he does steal some of it, but it seemed more like Superman breaking in than a professional thief breaking in, if that makes sense. Again, keep in mind, I love Kelsier, he's one of my favorite characters, but he didn't feel like a thief to me. He felt like a good guy. He felt like a superhero rather than a professional thief. We don't really see them established as thieves. I don't think Clubs stole anything. I don't think Spook stole anything in the entire trilogy that I know of. Maybe he did a little bit. We don't see Breeze grifting at all. Ham just seems like a great big teddy bear that fights rarely. He trains some troops to fight, but we don't see him fighting that much. Compare that to one of my favorite heists of all time, Ocean's 11. The first time we see George Clooney, he's getting out of prison for stealing. The first time we see Brad Pitt, he's ripping off people at a poker game and stealing from them. The first time we see Matt Damon, he is pickpocketing people, stealing their watches, stealing their wallets, and it's a lot of fun. And then Brad Pitt pickpockets the pickpocket. And so we see they are established thieves, breaking into vaults, or the grease man doing acrobats and greasing his way into stuff. Over and over we see they are professional thieves, and it's clearly established. Second, eyes on the prize. With Ocean's 11, early on, their goal is to rob the casino, but they're all going to be in one vault on a fight night. We got to steal the money from that one vault. And it's laser focused on what they're supposed to steal. And the entire movie, it builds up to, we got to get the money. We got to get the money. How are we going to get the money out? It makes it so satisfying when they succeed. Now compare that to Mistborn. Early on, Kelsier says, okay, we're going to steal their ATM. Like, okay, great. But we're also going to overthrow the final empire. Like, okay, cool. And I also want to kill the Lord Ruler. Okay, and I kind of want to bring back the real world and see grass and see real plants grow. Okay, and quite a few goals. Now, they're all good goals, and they're done very well in the trilogy. But I think for a heist to really feel like one, you have to have laser focus and have one thing that you get at the end. Now, at the end of Mistborn, they don't find the ATM, but nobody seems too put off by it. Now, they are disappointed, but they're more like, well, at least we killed the Lord Ruler, we freed the Ska, we freed the slaves, good for us. Now, it ends great, and I love it, but it felt a lot more like Star Wars or the Hunger Games, Avatar: The Last Airbender, than it does an actual heist, like The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch or something like that. Once again, the first one, I didn't feel like they were established as thieves, and two, they didn't seem to have the laser focus, eyes on the prize, this is the one goal we're trying to get. I just want to reiterate, I love Mistborn, it's one of my favorite books of all time. Let me know in the comments, do you think it felt like a heist to you, or did it feel more like rebels versus the evil empire? Let me know either way, and I would love to see the comments.